All God's Dangers, The Life of Nate Shaw is a 1974 oral history masterpiece written by American historian Theodore Rosengarten. Based on extensive interviews conducted over 4 years, the book chronicles the extraordinary life of an illiterate African-American sharecropper known as Nate Shaw, real name Ned Cobb, told entirely in Nate's own words. This remarkable work received the prestigious 1974 National Book Award for Nonfiction, triumphing over other notable contenders like All the President's Men, Studs Terkel's Working, and Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Critics, readers, and academics alike have lauded it as an invaluable testament to the experiences of Southern Black individuals, with the New York Times describing Nate Shaw as a vivid, authentic presence who comes to life on the pages, sharing his joys, sorrows, poetry, and history. Nate Shaw's upbringing took place in the 1890s as the son of a tenant farmer who was born into slavery. From a young age, he toiled on his father's farm, acquiring skills such as plowing, handling mules, and planting crops. Recognizing the futility of the tenant farmer's existence, he lamented that it was a repetitive cycle of days and nights, with Sundays as the only respite. In hindsight, Shaw keenly analyzed the racial and economic injustices embedded within the tenant system. White landowners would lease farms to black farmers, providing them with financial support known as furnish for equipment, while also claiming a portion of the farming proceeds as a mortgage. Despite the laborious efforts of the black farmers in cultivating cotton, they would sell it to the landowner at a price set by the landowner, deducting the furnish money and the mortgage. Often, the farmer was left with nothing but debt at the end of the year. In essence, Shaw concluded that little had changed in the South since the abolition of slavery. As he mused, "Years ago, I heard that Abraham Lincoln freed the colored people, but it didn't make much of a difference." Determined to break free from this oppressive system, Shaw made a resolute decision to escape his circumstances. After getting married and starting a family, Nate Shaw took on the arduous task of working double shifts. During the day, he tirelessly farmed the land he rented, and in the evenings, he supplemented his income by hauling lumber. With determination and hard work, he managed to pay off his debts, acquire his own plot of land, construct a house, and begin thriving. Over time, he became the proud owner of mules, horses, livestock, and even 2 cars. Shaw passionately recounts the daily routines of his life as a farmer, his deep affection for the animals in his care, especially the mules, and the various injustices he endured and occasionally managed to circumvent. As Shaw's prosperity grew, he became aware that his success incited anger and jealousy among the white individuals in his community. When the Alabama Sharecroppers Union emerged in the early years of the Great Depression, he recognized that joining the union was both the morally right thing to do and a practical decision. However, the formation of the union infuriated the white landowners, who used every means at their disposal to dismantle it. In 1932, 4 sheriffs arrived at the farm of one of Shaw's fellow union members, armed with a forged mortgage note and threatening to seize the land. Shaw refused to accept this blatant injustice. He understood that if he had taken an oath to stand up for all impoverished black and white farmers who chose to join, he had to uphold it. Thus, he bravely confronted the sheriffs, informing them that they would have to take his life before he would surrender. In a desperate attempt to silence him, they shot him 3 times. However, Shaw retaliated, brandishing his own weapon and driving them away before fleeing the scene. Despite being pursued by law enforcement officers, Shaw was eventually apprehended and subjected to a cursory trial. In a glaring display of injustice, he was sentenced to 12 years in prison. Undeterred, Shaw maintained a resolute silence during his time behind bars, refusing to betray the union leadership even when offered parole on 3 separate occasions. He served his full sentence and returned to his land, only to find a transformed world awaiting him. Tractors had replaced mules as the primary tools of agriculture. At the age of 59, Shaw wholeheartedly dedicated himself to his work, striving to build a better future for his 10 children. Tragically, his wife passed away, and he mourned the brevity of their time together, remarking, "I had stayed with her for over 40 years, and even that felt too short." After remarrying, Nate Shaw reached a point where he could finally retire, entrusting his sons to continue farming in his place. When speaking to Rosengarten, he unapologetically defends the choices he made in his life, asserting that anyone who disapproves is essentially opposing the person he has become. He refuses to tolerate any criticism and declares his unwavering commitment to fighting for his rights and the rights of others. Reflecting on the political future of the United States, Shaw ponders the number of individuals required to bring about meaningful change and acknowledges the considerable time and effort that will be necessary to achieve it. He firmly believes that the ultimate victors will be the best individuals of the United States, including those who are uneducated or overlooked by society. With great conviction, he states that they will emerge triumphant. The book notes that Shaw passed away on November 5, 1973, a year prior to the book's publication. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.